Today's revelations about the NSA recording all phone calls in and out of the Bahamas should be a terrifying wake-up call to most politicians. There's a problem that has to do with the mentality behind the people protecting these things. They see themselves as the protectors, the sort of superhero, if you will, protecting against terrorism and all manner of bad things. Therefore, anybody who's against them is against terrorism. If you are working for what you see to be the public good, then anything that seeks to restrict or reduce that in any way is against the public good, and therefore is to be fought against. This is true even if the actions are actually for the public good. Because once you're in the mindset of we are the ones defending things, then anybody who opposes you must be against defending. So it should be a wake-up call for any politicians. Because if you try and rein into these people, well, they've got recordings. Is your life free from scrutiny? Every amorous peccadillo, every somewhat shady deal, or deal that can be portrayed as shady, is recorded and stored. How welcome are you to blackmail? Because that's the route we're going down right now. If we don't rein in things now and hard, then we're going to have a surveillance state which is continued through blackmail. Because we've all done things we don't want to become public. We all have things we don't want to become public. But when you give groups the opportunity and the ability to collect those things, even if only for specific purposes, then what was the target expands. They're only targeting bad guys. Who's the bad guy? Is it somebody attacking the country? Yeah, sure, they're a bad guy. But what about the people attacking the good guys? If you're attacking the NSA, surely that makes you a bad guy. Doesn't matter if you're a congressman, a senator, the president, an activist. If you're attacking the NSA and their data collection programs, then you are therefore a bad guy. And that's therefore a legitimate target for collection, because you are a bad guy. And it's all very well to say it's not going to creep, it's not going to happen, but we've seen it happen. We've had revelations over the past year that NSA and CIA and other intelligence agencies have used their powers, their abilities to spy for personal gain. Because the person having an affair with their girlfriend is attacking them, and they're a defender, and therefore they're attacking the defenders. And therefore they're a legitimate target. So I say to every member of Congress, every representative, every senator, if you don't want to be seen as an enemy of America by being an enemy of the CIA, an enemy of the NSA, then you need to act, and act quickly, to rein in their ability and their power, which will end up used against you. Because we all know power corrupts. It's human nature. So to deny human nature is lunacy, idiocy. It is sheer basic ignorance. And so you've got to start reining it in before it gets too late, and before they're in a position where they can make sure that you can't do anything that can hurt them. Because unless we get the most perfect human being ever to fill each and every one of the 600 plus slots in Congress, there is always that chink, that crack, that situation that can be misconstrued to that politician's negative and to the agency's gain. And that is also a big negative to the American people. So please, act now, act soon, and act with the best interest of the future. Not so that you look like you're strong on terrorism, strong on security, or you can look powerful and pal around with the CIA, members of the NSA, think yourself important in the DC cocktail circuit. Nobody who really matters thinks that's important. Only shallow, selfish people do. It's time, members of Congress, for you to stand up for the people who elected you, to stand up and be counted that you are an American, and that you are not just a lackey. Can you do that? Can you? Prove to us that you can. And do it without being scared and a coward, afraid of your own shadow in the next terrorist attack, because you might be portrayed to be a little bit weak. That's fear. That's what terrorism is about. Terrorism. It's about provoking fear. The only way to combat terrorism is not to be afraid. To stand up and say, I will not bow before this. So will you stand up and say, I will not bow? I will not give in like a snivelling coward. Will you stand up for honor, freedom, and the American way? If you are man enough for the job, if you are big enough for the task, then you need to show it and put real reform in place. Or, if you're a frightened little coward, too busy hiding under for some imaginary terrorist attack, so that you can climb out of your little hiding and say, hey, I was all for trying to support it and stop this from happening by throwing all our freedom. Then go away. Carry on doing what you're doing. Show the contempt you have for the American people. Show the contempt you have for the world, for freedom, for honesty, for democracy. And don't bother running for re-election because you're not worthy of the position. It's time to do the right thing. Can you?